All right, hello everyone. Good evening to you from Kyiv, Ukraine. My name is Anu Ojo, and I want to welcome you all. Well, you're welcome. Good evening to you. How are you doing? Thank you for joining us today. Well, today is the first day of the month of May, and we are almost at the half part of the month. This is the 5th month, and the new year is gradually coming to an end. But this is a special month, and I'm sure that we have some of our viewers watching us all over the world, members of DSA family who are celebrating their birthday this month of May. And yeah, I would like to say happy birthday month to you all. But with that, Dr. Sunday, his birthday is also this month, and this is a special program that would run through the whole month. Well, this is the first of its kind. If you've been following Dr. Sunday for the past 3 years that he has been online, you know that for every birthday, Dr. Sunday we have some special celebration package for the viewers who are not here with us. I think last year Dr. Sunday was having some interview sessions with Queen Mayowa. He was answering questions, and people were sending in their questions. But this year is going to be special. It's the first of its kind. Like as you can see, Dr. Sunday is not seated here. This is a seat, but he's not here. He would be watching us wherever he is right now. But we're going to be having amazing people who will be coming for the next 27 days. We're going to be having different people, different faces. They're going to be discussing about different topics, and just about one man, and that's Dr. Sunday Adelaja. You know, I always say that anyone who wants to boldly say that he knows Dr. Sunday, for me, that is a proof that you don't know Dr. Sunday, because Dr. Sunday is many-sided. You might think you know him to an extent until he does something the next day. And then you're like, I've not seen this part before. But you know, many people know Dr. Sunday as a prolific author. Some other people know him as a mentor. Some people know Dr. Sunday as a pastor. Some others, they know him as a revolutionary. Some people refer to Dr. Sunday as a patriotic Nigerian, an African to the core. So there are many sides to Dr. Sunday, and it will be a humongous task for one person to be able to describe the multifaceted personality of Dr. Sunday. And that is the reason why we're going to be devoting the next 27 days, because 28 is Dr. Sunday's birthday, to talk about different sides that Dr. Sunday has. And beyond that, we're going to be celebrating the life of Dr. Sunday. We want to celebrate his legacy. We want to celebrate the impact he has made in our lives as individuals, and also to our families, to our communities, to our nations, and all over the world. I think Dr. Sunday his story and his life is worth celebrating. And what can be better than having him with us? He's alive right now. What can be better than having him here, testimonies of lives that has been impacted by him, and the legacies and the influence that he has made thus far. So I want to welcome you all to this special celebration program. Like I said, it's going to be for the whole month actually. So please invite your friends if you've not done that. Please share. Welcome everybody. It's going to be an interactive time, and also we are going to have the opportunity, we're going to offer the opportunity to all of DSA family all over the world to join in this conversation. So while we have the presenter who would defend their topic, after their presentation, we're going to open the line for everyone and for anyone who would like to contribute. So today we are having the first side to Dr. Sunday, Dr. Sunday being an author, and we want to talk about DSA's best books. DSA's best books. And I'm sure our best books will differ. So if you would like to share your thoughts, if you would like to share on your own best books, please write to us. Just go to Facebook Messenger and search for Move Agents and write to us that you would like to contribute to today's topic, that you have some books that you consider as the best books and you defend your case. But I'm not here alone. I have a brother of mine. He's a friend. He's also a colleague in the medical field. His name is GIDEON IDOWU. I would like to make welcome my brother. Good evening, sir.
Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
Good evening, DSA family. It's really a great privilege to be on this platform for this special occasion.
Right.
Celebrating one man that his life has really, really impacted mine, and I've been so blessed. Most especially with his books, because I think that's the greatest thing that has happened to me in the past 5 years.
Wow. Meeting
Pastor Sunday one-on-one, and being privileged to read few of his books. You know, each time I see Pastor, because each time I get notification from Amazon that Pastor Sunday has released a new book, my heart skips and I'll be like, oh, will I ever meet up?
Can I catch up?
Will I catch up? Like, can I actually finish reading all these books? You know, I was taking an inventory of all Pastor Sunday's books, and I discovered that he has written almost above 100 books in English.
Yeah.
Above 100 books in English. And I've just been able to read few above 20.
That's like 25%.
That's like 25%.
Yeah.
And each book actually speaks a lot about DSA. And not just him as a person, not just his attribute, but speaks who he is, what his interest and his purpose on earth, actually. Because I discovered, it made me understand, I later understood that, oh, so this is the reason why DSA is who he is. This is the reason why he acts in a certain way. This is the reason why he's just so passionate about people. Wow. So, talking about DSA's books, there was a time I was talking to him. I said that the best thing, the best legacy you've done, the best legacy you've given is just writing this. Like, you've saved thousands of lives.
True.
Including my own life. And I told him that, I said, these books, I'm good with God's strength. I'm going to try as much as possible to read as many books as possible, because it is not just about reading books, but it's about the life that it gives. And a meaningful life, to be precise. Not just being a biomass, but living a fulfilled life. Preparing me for heaven. So I'm really so privileged, and I'm so honored to have, number one, met Pastor Sunday. Not just meeting him, but it's also a great privilege to even have him as my uncle as well.
As your uncle.
even though I try not to tell people about that, because you know it kind of poses a challenge to, because I've never seen this kind of human being. Because he's just too exceptional. is just different from most people that I've seen, even most men of God that I've seen. Living his life, even in captivity, still fulfilling purpose.
Sure.
Saving thousands of lives that are yet to be, that are still unborn. So I've never seen, and sometimes when I just look at him, even when I read his books, most of the time, I see him in the books. Because he's actually not different from what he writes. Because I've been privileged so many times to be with him, to walk with him, to talk with him. So even when I read his books, he's not writing anything. He's actually not so. I can't actually see the fact that he's writing something from somewhere or just But most of his write-ups, most of his books, everything he has written are things that he practically has been able to do. You can see it in his life. So he's not just coming to tell us something that he has not actually done.
Like theory, just some
like theory, yeah. Some motivational, write-ups and all that. And I could see, even each time I read his books, I could see his passion, his love for people, for humanity.
Right from just by reading his books.
Just by reading his books alone.
Wow.
Like I see him crying out, setting people free. Like he's so concerned about people's liberty. Like one of the blessings God has actually given me is reading Pastor Sunday's books.
Great. Now I can see, because I was going to ask you that why did you, of all things, Dr. Sunday can be a mentor to many people, or which maybe he's a mentor. He has a lot of messages. You could talk about his messages. You could talk about him being an uncle, or you could talk about him being a great influencer or a revolutionary or something. But you chose to talk about DSA's books, and I think you actually answered the question before I asked. But I don't know if you want to share anything more. Why DSA's books? You've given good answers, but now that I'm throwing it out to you, is there any other thing you want to add? Why did you choose to talk about DSA's best books? Why this topic?
Now, the reason why I chose to talk about DSA's books is because, for so many years, I've had a lot of questions.
Okay.
That I've not been able to get answers to. So I could remember my first summer in Ukraine, 2014. DSA called myself and some other people for to come together. He wants to write article and all that. But before that time, I've known him to be an influencer. I've known him to be, a well-known man of God, even before I came to Ukraine and all that. But I know I asked him one question because I see him. I used to have this mindset that he's just like every other man of God that I've heard of in Nigeria. So even when I could remember my first time with him, he played the videos of different anniversaries, different accomplishments and all that. So in my mind, I just I say, oh, my uncle is just one of them.
Just one of them.
No, I actually told her, I said it's just one of them. In fact, there was one statement I made. I asked him if he actually used voodoo, or maybe there is one prophet, because for him to be able to come up with this kind of, to be able to achieve all those things, then there must be something behind it.
Did you say you asked him if he used voodoo?
I asked him in his because at that point, before I came to Ukraine, I was already not interested in anything that has to do with church. In fact, I didn't want to even associate myself with anything that has to do with pastor or anything, because I just see them as, they are just influential, but they are not making any impact in Nigeria. But where I started finding interest in him, and what actually drew my attention to his book, because I really want to get to the root of all those things that he has done. So was when I now met him, I saw that, but he has been able to do a lot of things in Ukraine. And these things are beyond these things are not normal. And also, why will he be having the lawsuit he's having? Why would Putin give him non-grant? So I started asking myself a lot of questions. I said, I really want to know him very well. So fortunately for me, he called us together that summer. He wanted to write an article. I said, I'm just going to listen to him for 1 hour, or maybe just for that evening. Anytime he calls me again, I'll just always give excuses. Because I actually thought the call would be about just normal religious gathering, telling us about the scripture and all that. I was already tired of all those things. So when I now saw that the article he wanted to write was practically addressing issues with scriptural backing, like from a Christian background, like from God's perspective. And I told myself, this thing I'm hearing and I'm listening that is saying now is too good to be true. Like, so this man is actually different from every man of God that I've actually read their books and all that.
So you could see the difference.
I could see the difference that evening and that moment. So and after, because it was an evening that made me to even, I was actually longing for the next evening so that he would call us again, because I really want to listen to his wisdoms and his own perspective, and not just perspective but practical solutions to issues. And I could remember the topic of the article was, who does God call a man?
Yeah. And
I was so blessed, and my mind actually it blew everything, like everything I knew about Christianity, like it just shattered everything, and I was since then. So when he now started writing books, the very first book I read was actually the book he read to us, and which was about the kingdom driven, which I'm still going to talk, which is one of my best, top 20 books. It's actually one of the books I'm going to address today. I'm going to talk about today. And now that book actually made me to want to really read more about his write-ups, about anything that he has written down. Because listening to him alone is one great thing. Now reading books that is being written by him, oh my God. This one can set this. The one experience I had was the fact that I gained a lot of confidence, not just in God, but also in myself. Wow. I knew that now nothing can make me depressed, no worries again, because I'm not, I wasn't having it took the fear of the unknown, the fear of, okay, what could happen tomorrow? What is your purpose on earth? Like, why are you even doing what you're doing? Why are you even in school? Why did you even come to Ukraine? So it was just like a guideline. I actually don't when I'm reading his books, I don't call it books. I just call it a manual or a guideline, because they actually do not look like books, like regular books. They are just like practical manuals, like practical guidelines that you will not just be useful to yourself, but you will be useful to everyone around you. People will start seeing that, oh, truly someone exists, or they have a friend that they can always call upon. And not just call upon to hear what they have to say, but to actually give them solutions, which are the things I have actually gotten from all his books. Wow. Different aspects of life, different issues. And that is one thing about him, right? He doesn't write, oh, now the Spirit says, oh, thy kingdom come. The regular religious books. He writes books that practically addresses and gives solutions to problems. So because I was so interested in things like that, I said, okay, let me just start developing the habit of reading books outside academic books. And another thing also that he taught me again was he actually gave me a formula that really worked. He said that try to read a chapter every day.
a chapter of his book every
A
day.
chapter every day.
Okay.
And you will see how far you're going to go.
Wow.
And trust me, the very first month was so challenging because it was really so challenging for me. But I think I started with reading a book in 1 month by just following that basic rule that read just 1 chapter a day. And anytime I'm reading his book, I feel like I even forget to read my school books. Because I just want to see what is going to say in the next chapter, what is going to say in this chapter, what is going to say in the next chapter.
Yeah.
So my interest to really get answers to all the questions that have really been bothering my mind, that all the questions that I've been willing to get answers to, is the reason why I decided to start reading his books.
Wow, fantastic. Thank you. I would like to just address our viewers who are just joining us. If you just joined us, well, this is DSA's 52nd birthday celebration special. For the next 27, 28 days, we're going to be celebrating Dr. Sunday's life, his legacy, and we'll be having different people from all over the world talking about different sides, the manifold sides of Dr. Sunday. As you've heard, this is Dr. GIDEON IDOWU, who is speaking on the subject of DSA's best books. If you're just joining, I would like to encourage you to please share, invite your friends, share it to your family. Let's join in the conversation and let's celebrate the faithfulness of God in Dr. Sunday's life. And also, there's going to be opportunity for our viewers on Facebook and on YouTube to call in. As a matter of fact, it will be as many as Facebook can take. So please, if you want to contribute to today's discussion on DSA's best books, maybe when Dr. GIDEON starts his own and your own book is not amongst his top 20, then I think you would like to call in and say, no, you missed out one. This one is the best. So if you want to call in, you just have to go to Facebook Messenger and search for Move Agents and write to us that you would like to contribute. And we're going to call you when the time is up. So right now, I'm sure Dr. GIDEON is ready. He has his presentation. So now, defend. We need you to prove to us why your top 20 books are the best books of Dr. Sunday. So over to you.
Okay, thank you very much, Dr. Anojo. Yeah, before I actually go into my top 20 books, I saw something online, which just to tell the audience that I'm not actually alone in the quest of, searching for knowledge and reading DSA's books. There was a poll that was conducted and about people writing their top 3 books. And at the end of the day, we are 40 topics or 40 titles out of all the books Pastor Sunday have written. I don't know if you have the slide.
Yeah, the slide.
Yeah.
The next slide.
So this was the second slide actually. So this is actually the result of the round 1 of this poll, and 40 books actually, and which out of these 40 books, some of the books that is also in my own top 20 are also included in these 40 books. So I would really encourage our viewers to not just to or let me just say, I would really encourage them to also join the league of people that are really interested and in search for knowledge. So my first the next slide.
All right.
The round 2 of the quiz also, the top Pastor Sunday's book also. The result is also, is it showing?
Yeah, we can see it. Yeah, DSA book quiz round 2. So this is the first one that you talked about was the round 1.
Round 1, yes.
Yeah, and I had over 40. I think I saw
over
41
40
topics. So I think there is a second round that is going now for people to write their top 3 DSA's books.
3 DSA's books.
Okay.
Now to my own top 20 books. The first book I would really like to talk about, which I really, actually when I first saw this topic, how to regain your lost years. One thing about Pastor Sunday's books is that the topic alone will make you want to know what is inside the book. He's so gifted in choosing the right topics for his books.
Yeah.
And everybody, especially from Africa, or everybody on earth will know that at one point in time they've had moments of regret. They've had moments that they've had times that they wish they had never lost. You know, so when I saw this book, I was like, wow, okay, how to regain your lost years. Well, let me see what DSA will have to say in this book. And the first thing that he actually said was that the life which we see as the years, as our year on the years we've spent on earth, which is the life God has given to us, is actually calibrated in time. So what you call life, or what you call years, is just a sum total of the time God has given to you. So now, the very first question I asked myself when reading this book was, I asked myself this question: what time do I have left? Okay, let me just assume that, okay, I've lost some certain, period of my, my life, like some years. Maybe where I think I should be, I wasn't there. That I'm not actually there, and I said, okay, what can I do? So, but Pastor Sunday was not. When I was reading this book, something I saw in this book is that Pastor Sunday was not concerned about what has happened in the past. But what do you have at the moment? Like, what do you have at the moment that everyone that is still living has? And that thing, he said, is called time. So why worry about the years you've lost? Why are you not so concerned? Why shouldn't you be so concerned about the time that you have now? And when I was reading the Bible, I was like, wow. So it was at that particular time when I was reading the book, I told myself, also, so it is high time I just forget about my lost years and focus on the time I have left, and how I can. One thing I learned in this book is how I can speed up and actually recover with the same principle which is present in the time that I have left. Make up for my lost years and achieve everything that I really want to achieve.
Great.
So Pastor Sunday actually made it clear that the only thing you should be so concerned is the time you have now. Because this same time is what is being given to everyone that is living. So, and he also said something that life is the sum total of all your hours, which is the same as the sum total of all the time that, Pastor Sunday is, I now said something after reading some of these books. I came about one phrase and I said, Pastor Sunday's language. Like I said, Pastor Sunday's language is not Russian, it's not English.
Okay.
Pastor Sunday's language is in his books. What Pastor Sunday preaches is time, purpose, which we are still going to see, which I'm really going to show us in some of his books that I've read.
Yeah.
When you talk about time, that is Pastor Sunday's language. He is so concerned, so passionate about what we do with our time and how we can take over this earth or our world just by efficiently maximizing and using our time well. So one thing out the conclusion I got in this book is, after identifying what you are supposed to do, or the things you've actually said, oh, maybe I thought maybe I might not be able to do all these things again. After identifying those things that you ought to do and you've not done, then the next thing is to do what? To invest your time properly. You cannot read 3 of Pastor Sunday's books and you won't see time, the importance of time in his books. It's a common language. It's actually a common, so that is one thing that gave me the confidence, which I now later saw after reading this book, that time is the most important thing that can make anyone to recover their lost years.
Great. I mean, you're talking about the subject of time, but yeah. I know there are a lot of authors who talk about time.
Okay, yes.
Yeah, I mean, how to manage your time. Many people, I mean, there are many motivational speakers who talk about time. But if you're saying time is one of DSA's language, so how does this book or any of DSA's books that you've read, what makes DSA's books on time and things like that different from those other books? That I don't know if you've read other books on time management and all of that.
Yeah.
But what makes its own difference? Why is it different from other authors or other motivational speakers who talk about time management, how to use your time and things like that?
Okay. Now, one interesting thing about DSA's book, when you read them, DSA does not just talk about some certain topic, which is DSA gives practical, real life example of people that are doing it, that have achieved a lot, that have regained a lot just by identifying with time management. And time is not just the only thing he spoke about in this book. The fact that we also daydream. I could remember I saw something about daydreaming and all that. You know, we daydream a lot. And Pastor Sunday was so concerned about it's not going to, that daydreaming is the killer of time. This is not taking us anywhere. Rather, we have to be proactive. And understanding, after realizing that their purpose of existence, okay, you know that, okay, you're supposed to, this is the reason why you're created. Then don't just dream, don't just daydream. Start, and Pastor Sunday will always give the daily things you can do that will make you arrive at that point where you will now regain all your lost years. So the practical steps, this is not just, okay, what you are supposed to do, what should be your habit, what you should do every day, your seconds, your minutes. Okay, when you fail, you should also not give, like, even when you failed in the practical steps, how to still come back and still do this and repeat the same principle and making sure that at the end of the day, you've regained all those things you were supposed to, all your lost years rather.
Like perseverance, tenacity.
Perseverance. And one thing about Pastor is he simplifies any big thing he's talking about. It might look big to a layman, but he simplifies it. It's not as big as we think it is, but it's going to simplify everything just to make sure everybody gets the message in the book.
Fantastic. Wow. Great. So the book, that's number one, right?
Yes.
How to regain your lost years. How to regain your lost years. on your slide, I saw a sign of a video. I don't. Do you plan to play any video? I could see.
Yes. Oh yeah, sure.
Okay.
I would like the video. I don't know if you guys can play the video.
I think the video will be played right now. Let's see what you have for us.
Hello everybody, Sunday Adelaja here. Can you believe it? Some people say I look young, but I know I don't, because I'm 50. It doesn't matter how you look. Numbers lie. And because of that, you know, I started to write a book.
All right,
hello,
we'll start again.
Everybody, Sunday Adelaja here. Can you believe it? Some people say I'm young, but I know I don't.
Is the video playing?
Yes, I'm 50. It doesn't matter how you look. Numbers lie. And because of that, you know, I started to write a book. And this book is for people like me, who have been here for quite some time now. And maybe you'll be here for 50 years, like myself, or maybe more, maybe 40 years, maybe 30 years. But if you've been around and you want to maximize your life and you are thinking of how you could actually, you know, make the best of your remaining time on earth. I think it's about time, when you reach my age, it's about time to begin to think seriously about maximizing the remaining of your life. So, this book, How to Regain Your Lost Years. All of us have lost some years, because we are following the trends around us, because we were doing what everybody else was doing. So for many reasons, some people have lost many years because of family commitment, children, and things like that. Can you really regain your lost years? You've got the answers. You've got the answer this time. And this book is going to be out on Amazon today on the 3rd of April. From the 3rd to the 8th of April, you can buy it actually. From today, you can begin to pre-order the book. If you pre-order, you'll be able to get it for just $3.44. I mean, 99. That just for $4. You'll be able to get the book just for $4. When it's pre-ordered, and when it's out from Sunday, from 9th of April, it's going to be much more expensive. So if you want to regain your lost years, there you go. Go for gold. God bless us.
All right. Wow, that looks like a book. That was like a book promo for the book, how to regain your lost years. Wow, great. It's interesting because Dr. Sunday said, you know, I'm 50 years now. But I'm sure you're not even close to that. But
yeah.
But you really want to regain your lost years. So I'm trying to imagine the people who are above 50 now. I'm thinking, what would they be saying? That this young boy, which years do you want to regain? Well, I think definitely this is a book that everybody must get and to read. So number one, how to regain your lost years. So over to you. You can continue, sir.
Okay, sir. So the second book that I've been blessed with is the book Who Am I and Why Am I Here? I think that should be the next slide. I don't know if you get it.
Yes, it's there.
Okay. Then Who Am I and Why Am I Here? Now, I would really say that this book came, when I was reading this book, the first thing that actually came to my mind, I told myself, I wish I had read this book 10 years ago.
Wow.
And the year I read this book was, I think that should be 2016. Yeah, that's 3 years ago. So I told myself, I said, I wish I had read this book 10 years or 15 years ago.
Who am I? Why am I here?
Who am I and why am I here? You know,
why?
The identity crisis is one thing that everybody is a victim of. Now, just few people actually knew who they are meant to be and why God created them. So I think this is when I was reading it, actually my interest in knowing and understanding. I really want to know my purpose, like why did God actually create me? Can I really discover, or is it different from what I think or what I was told? For so many people in Africa, most people actually got their identity through prophecy, through anointing, through maybe they were told by their grandparents. But reading this book made me realize that it is more than that, actually.
Wow.
It is actually more. It is not what we think or what we've been told, but it is what we discover. And also the fact that if you ask someone, who are you? They say, I'm Mr. So. I'm Dr. So. That is not your identity. And when I was reading this book, it changed my mindset about not just the mundane things that we know, which is you're created to go to school, to get a job, create a family, if you're so fortunate, build a business,
or get a job, and then retire.
And retire. Yes, that is the end of life.
And then live on pension.
And live on pension. I just, before reading this book, I just believe that, especially getting a good job, you have to work hard to get a good job, have a great family, live a comfortable life, if you're fortunate and all that. So my whole essence of being was centered around those things. The bigger those things are, yes, the more fulfilled I think I will be. So, but not knowing, when I now read this book, I was sober for days.
Wow.
I was asking myself, oh God, so there is more to my identity for the fact that I'm born of God, for the fact that I'm a Christian alone has separated me from not just doing every normal thing that most people do. We are in today. So this really gave me this knowledge that destiny and my purpose and my identity is not just one thing, is not two, is not three. Is the more I every day of my life, I need to discover more that God has really created me for. God cannot just create you for one thing. Even for instance now, for some of us that are privileged to be in the medical field, it's not just about the regular clinical practice, but there is an assignment for us. So when I was reading this book, I discovered that how do I know more about myself, more that God has created me for? How do I really go deep and deep to come to the full knowledge of who I am in Christ Jesus? Then one of the things Pastor Sunday spoke about in this book was self-education, self-improvement, developing our intellectual capacity, being open to knowledge, which will definitely broaden our perspective and open our eyes, the eyes that God has given us to see more about ourselves. And this particular book is one book I'm going to recommend for every parent, every father, every mother.
Which book?
I'm going to recommend this
book?
Who Am I?
Who Am I?
Because this book is something that if we can know this thing right from our young age, then the problem, which I call the identity crisis, it is going to deliver people from that problem and living other people's life, or living the life of their fathers, of their fathers, of the legacy they've given, and not just discovering that, oh, I'm actually created for a different purpose entirely. Our identity, even in Africa, in a way, has even been given to us by our parents. Oh, this is what I want you to do. Oh, this is the thing that has been written down that you should become. And not just allowing us to actually discover who we are meant to be and for the purpose we are created for.
Wow.
And the fact that Pastor said something, that this our head that God has given to us is designed to broaden our perspective regarding the word. The more we engage our ability, the more we engage ourselves, the more we discover more that is yet to be done by us, not just for ourselves alone, but even for our community, for everyone around us. And he said something which is very important. He said something that I could remember. He said that building all these things on values should always be our reference point. Good values. The right values. So this book really, really opened my eyes to, to see more about why I was created and why I should always search for more about myself, more that I can do, more that God has, the hidden things about me that I'm yet to discover. And he already gave the clue. He already gave the how to go about it. Be open to self-development, self-education. Be open to knowledge. Seek, search, ask questions. And that is how you discover more about yourself.
But as you're speaking, I'm thinking you read this book when you were in medical school yourself.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And apparently you've been in church all the while. And so two questions I want to ask before you move to your next book is, you before, who was the Gideon before reading this book?
Okay.
Who was the Gideon? And the Gideon after reading this book? Because I'm sure you might have friends who are Gideon, you're still the same person I'm seeing, you are the same body. But the Gideon before a medical student who is in medical school, before he opened that Who Am I book, and the Gideon after, what was the difference? That's number one. And then number two, after you read that book, the book Who Am I, Why Am I Here? And I'm sure you have people around you. So how were you able to, people that maybe have not read this book, what could you see between what you now know, because you've read the book Who Am I, Why Am I Here? You've discovered your identity, you know your purpose. Now, people around you, what difference could you notice between yourself and every other person living around you?
Okay, yeah. To answer the first question, you cannot see beyond. They used to say that you cannot see beyond your knowledge. You cannot see things beyond the knowledge that you have.
Yeah.
Before I read the book, I just took life like the way every other person, the way I see every other person. Like for instance, in medical school now, I discovered that before I read the book, I just wanted to just finish medical school and probably start practicing and have a family, like I said, get a good placement, be a consultant and all that. And that was just the whole thing. That was just the whole idea about me, who I think I was supposed to be, or So that was what I thought. So when I read the book, after reading the book, I discovered that even in this aspect, like in my professional aspect now, there is even more that I'm supposed to do.
Not just a doctor by default.
Not just but yeah, exactly. There is more. So even if I'm going to go in a particular aspect of medicine, what I'm supposed to do, how that is supposed to affect my life, and not just my life alone, like discovering that there is more that I can still offer to my world.
Great.
So now, for those so after reading the book, for the second question, now you said something about your question was about the people around me, and how I see that most people still are still maybe, let me just say, blindfolded with the mundane things. Like they are not saying that even the privilege that God has given them to probably be in medical school, there is more to it. And that is one thing this book talks about. There is more to your life. There is more to your identity. There is more that God has created it for.
Yeah.
You are more than just this physical, being. You have been blessed with a lot of things. And for you to discover those things, like I said, like what Pastor Sunday said in the book, you need to be open to knowledge. So self-development is one thing that differentiates people that haven't read this book, from people that have read this book, because you will see why you have to why you have to be so concerned about how you see things, not just the way the thing is being presented to you. There is more to you. There is more to everything around you.
Wow, great. As you're speaking, I just remember the words of late Dr. Miles Monroe. That the wealthiest place on earth is the cemetery. And just imagine people just living, like you said, just living their lives by autopilot. As a matter of fact, that's how vast majority of us, we used to live until I started reading books like this about who am I, why am I here. Then like you said, I began to discover that there's more to me than what I thought. That maybe I shouldn't just go and just die as a medical doctor, and also fulfill the words of late Dr. Miles Monroe, that the cemetery is the most wealthiest place. Why? Because in that cemetery, there are books that were never written, there were businesses that never opened, there were songs that were never written. There were innovations that never surfaced the earth. And it is because people have not read this book that you're talking about. Who am I? Because people have not discovered themselves. Who am I? And why am I here? What is the purpose for my existence? So I think it's a great one. And I think this book also, I think it's one of the top favorite books of Dr. Sunday. All right. Yes. So, this is the second. You still have 18 more to go. So, over to you, sir.
Okay, yeah, I think because of the time now, I think I just have to...
No, take your time and explain.
Okay, no problem. So now, the second book, I don't know if you have it on the slide there, Create Your Own Net Worth.
Yeah.
The reason why I read this book was because of, we are familiar with Forbes list and all those Forbes magazine and all that.
Yeah.
So, I just wanted to know, Pastor just saying something that, network to me, before reading this book, I believed network is about, your capital, the
What's in
sum
your
total
account?
of your investment, what is in your account. So
Yeah.
if pastor, so I was just thinking, pastor is ready to, to make people billionaires. So that was what was in my head. I never knew that. It was when I now read this, but I now saw that, pastor is so pastor simplifies things that we celebrate, things that we see to be magnanimous, things that we see to be so big.
Yeah.
Pastor simplifies it in a way that you will actually believe that all those things that we read about are achievable.
Yeah. Yeah.
We've read about people's net worth. And when I read this book, I actually came to conclusion. I said, no, so there is actually nothing so special about what these people have achieved. The only thing that is different, the only thing that separates me from them is because of how they were able to convert their self-worth into net worth.
Sure. Great. Yeah. Brilliant. Brilliant.
So, and Pastor said something. He said we all have some values, but the net values is what differs. So now, the reason why their values now became a net value or became what people now talk about or write about is because they were able to identify the first thing which God has given everyone, which is their values. They were able to convert it, work on it, and turn it into something that the whole world is now talking about today. What is it that we are gifted in? And the problem is that people have not even been able to know their self-worth, actually.
Well. And
That was the
wow. So you discovered that when you were reading the book.
yeah. So people have not been able to discover that, okay, this worth, which is the capital, the starting capital of life, is our self-worth. So the capital, which now changed my knowledge before reading this book, which the knowledge I had that the worth is the amount of money I have in my account.
Yeah.
The
dollars.
The dollars.
Yeah.
So that actually now changed. When I just read that point and I just said, oh, so this is it. So it's as simple as this. So now, what do you do with the worth? When after you've identified your self-worth, after you've identified what you can do, the purpose at which you were created. Now, how best can you convert this into a net worth? Can you be dead in converting your self-worth into net worth? Can you be so passionate about your worth and not just folding your arms and expecting that one day
something will happen?
Something will happen, or people will just write some things about you. And Pastor gave examples of all the people, Steve Jobs, all Amazon, all the top business guys, and how they were able to convert their self-worth after they've identified it into a net worth. So it has nothing to do with the billions of dollars you have in your account, because he said those are just products of their worth. Wow,
amazing. The book is create your own net
Own
worth.
net worth.
Net worth. Create, that word creates, like take responsibility.
Take responsibility.
That you can create your own net
You
worth.
can actually create it. So it has nothing to do with waiting for waiting to inherit something.
Yeah, that
Inherit
inheritance. Because in Africa, people, maybe not Africa, maybe all over the world, people really depend on gaining some inheritance from their family and things like that. But, but what you're saying now is that with this book, you see that you can create it yourself.
Yeah.
You can create it yourself. Wow. As you speak, I remember one of Dr. Sunday's quotes. And for me, it's one of my favorite quotes of Dr. Sunday. And he says that there are no failures in life.
Yes.
There are no failures in life. But there are only those who don't know what it takes to be successful. Or they do know what it takes to be successful, but they are not willing to pay the price. And I think from just listening to what you're saying, now one can, with that book, create your own net worth based on what you've said, and also I've read the book. Now you can see what it takes. You can see the steps. Yeah. Yeah, you can see the steps. Now it's left for you now to determine, am I willing to pay the price?
Yeah, to get to work,
Yeah. Because Dr. Sunday always says too that for any great success, any unusual feats that you see, there are great secrets.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the secret is one thing Pastor Sunday is always releasing.
Wow.
Pastor Sunday is just, and I just see, even anytime I read his books, I see his love for humanity.
You see his love through his books.
Through his books.
Wow.
For humanity. Because, I'm yet to see someone that will take his time just to set people, to just, the things that, we celebrate, we think they are almost impossible. No. These things are possible. It's just that we need to learn and apply the secrets of how to make the impossible possible. Wow. So the net worth, actually, when I saw the net worth, I was just expecting, something about money, how to start business, and that was just what I was expecting.
Yeah. Well, it's about the invisible resources, how to combat them.
Discipline. Persistence, responsibility. These are what? These are values. These are words. These are things that people have mastered, and they've applied it into everything they do daily.
Yeah.
Diligence.
Yeah. So
it's as simple as that.
Wow. Great. So let's see the book once again. The book is Create Your Own Net Worth, right? Create your own net worth. Okay. All right. So you can continue, sir.
So now the next book is what I have to be how to become great through time conversion.
How to become great through time conversion.
Yeah, through time conversion. Do you have it?
Yeah, it's shown.
Okay.
It's shown.
Okay. So now, like I said, Pastor Sunday cannot say, you can't read Pastor Sunday's book and not understand how valuable and how important time is.
Time conversion.
And recognizing time and combating it, they are two different things.
Recognizing time.
Yeah.
And converting it. Okay. What's the difference?
Okay, like I said, when you recognize, that time is important.
Okay.
Even the time to wake up, the time to sleep, the time to read, the time to do your daily tasks and all that. But Do you actually know that by having the right knowledge in converting, not just converting it on the things that are, let me just use the mundane things, the regular things, just like waking up, sleeping, doing your daily tasks, going to work, and all that. I'm not saying that that same time that we're talking about could be rightly converted into the potentials, the ability that God has given to us. So it's one thing to recognize, which most people, let me say the elites, the educated people, which most people know, but converting it and knowing that, okay, this thing, if I can convert it, or if I can make use of it in the things that will give me more results.
Okay.
And the things that will give me more results. So this will make me see how great that time is.
Wow.
And Pastor made something clear in this particular book, and it was like, grace is released more abundantly as we walk. So it is an insult for you to pray for grace as a lazy man.
So there's no, just like they say, there's no food for lazy man. There's no grace for lazy man. No grace for lazy man. Okay.
And Pastor made it clear that there was one point the pastor said about this. He said that, it is real hard work that releases your potential. It is one thing for you to know that, okay, you have this potential. It is another thing for the world to benefit from it. So maximizing your time, converting it well through hard work will definitely release the God's given potential that you have.
Wow. Great. Let me speak to our viewers who are watching us. Well, we've been talking about DSA's best books, and that's Mr. GIDEON IDOWU, who has been reviewing his top books. I want to say to all of our viewers who are watching us, perhaps he has not mentioned yours. I want you to know that you have the platform today. You have the opportunity to call in and to defend yours. He's gone through his own top books of DSA. So if you want to present yours and to prove, as he is proving to us, why do you think this is Dr. Sunday's best book? What impact has it done in your life? What impressions did you have when you were reading it? You can go to Facebook Messenger and search for Move Agent on Facebook Messenger and write to us that you would like to call in, and we will call you when it is time. So just go to Facebook Messenger, search for Move Agents, and write to us that you'd like to call in. And like I announced, we have, as long as Facebook would be ready to have us. So feel free to call in as many people as possible. We'll be happy to receive your calls. All right. So we'll go back to Dr. GIDEON IDOWU to continue defending his books. All right.
So this book is actually very important in the fact that Pastor really spoke about.
Are you going to
this,
the next book?
How
or
to
the same
become?
book?
No, the same book. I'm still on the same book.
Okay.
How to become breakthrough time conversion. Pastor spoke more about the importance of hard work.
Of hard work.
Yes, hard work. And Pastor actually made it clear that for you to bring anything out, for the world to see the things that God has given you, then you must be willing to pay the price. Through time conversion, you must be willing to pay the price of hard work, which will take most of your time, which will take a lot from you. So me getting all this knowledge, I have begun to see that there is actually I don't really have any excuse again. The blame mindset, the blame game, I always want to hold something responsible for the reason why I'm not doing this, why I'm not achieving this, why I'm not getting this result. Always want to find something to just blame, something to just hold.
Yeah.
But after reading this book, I just realized, no, I should blame myself. I should just know that I just didn't pay the price. So if you are not paying the price, then you are not getting any reward.
Yeah. Wow. Great. Brilliant. Thank you so much. That's the book, How to Become Great Through Time Conversion. So let's have the next book of yours.
Yeah, the next book, Growing Wealthy Without Tears.
Okay.
This book actually, I know a lot of let me say, churchgoers will be able to. I think this book is good for a lot of church, especially people that have been going to church or seeking the face of God for financial breakthrough and attending all the special programs that all the pastors have been, having.
Mm-hmm. Sowing seeds,
yeah, exactly.
with sowing seeds with tears.
With tears. And not getting any result.
Yeah.
Pastor made it so clear that it is not that God favors maybe the people in the world or the people that are not Christians. It's not that God is in their favor or God favors them more than the Christians. But it is the knowledge that is missing. It's an understanding that most of us in church, they understand that we don't have that. We need to change our attitude towards business. Like Pastor was really addressing, because a lot of people, talking about wealth, talking about money, these are things that people, everybody wants.
Yeah.
Whether you're a Christian, everybody wants money, everybody wants wealth and all that, But the reason why we will see some people that are successful, the reason why some people are successful is just because they have the right attitude, they have the right knowledge about business, about how they treat people. What is their attitude towards failure?
Attitude.
How do they see? What is their mindset about setbacks? Do they have plans? Can we also create new plans, new ideas, new strategies? These are God's given, these are gifts that God has given to everybody. So these are things that Christians should look into. And sometimes Pastor made it so clear in this particular verse about the fact that people have this fear of starting something or starting alone. They are so concerned about what people will say. We have Christianity, especially the Pentecostal, we have this mindset about, because every message is always channeled about people, enemy, people around you, what people think, And Pastor made it so clear that if you really want to be financially free, then you need to shut your ears off whatever thing that people might say, or the fear of starting again, or the fear of even starting at all. People don't want to take the risk. They are so afraid.
Wow.
And aside the fact that, okay, in church we receive the revelation, we receive the prophecy that, okay, the prosperity message and gospel. In reality, People are not seeing it. People are not becoming who they've actually prophesied that they will become. Simply because people don't even have the right knowledge about business. And Pastor made it so clear that we are, as Christians, we are controlled by the circumstances that surround us, which has taken the best, which has made it so impossible for us to actually grow the wealth that God has actually given to us. How do we treat people? Pastor actually did an on how do we treat people? What is our attitude towards, treating people around us?
Yeah. Because people are wealth to their
People are wealth.
resources. Wow. So this book, Growing Wealthy Without Tears. I mean, you highlighted the knowledge about the laws and business, starting business, of money, the attitude that we have. Wow. Growing Wealthy Without Tears. This is one of Dr. Sunday's old books. They're not
old books,
recent books. But I mean, for it to be part of your top 20, perhaps you want to have those bars of gold too.
Actually, the cover really made me to, I was so interested.
those bars of gold.
Yes, exactly.
and it looks like there's nothing like tears. There's no tears around it.
At all.
Fantastic! Wow.
Actually, about this book again, there are a lot of points. That is one thing. I can't just tell people.
Oh yes. People have to get the book and read.
People just have to get this book because there are a lot. Like, Pastor is not going to leave you halfway.
Yeah.
Pastor is not going to keep you in suspense. Pastor is going to tell you and make you see practical steps.
Yes.
Like, Pastor spoke about so many things about the fact that what is our attitude to capital, what is our attitude to money. These are things that, we make it look like, wealth is, one supernatural thing or one mystical, something that, is just by anointing or just by God's favor, who he has favored and all that. All those myths that are not even true.
Wow. Great.
And the right knowledge. Knowledge is actually our knowledge about business.
Knowledge. Good.
Yeah.
Good. Thank you. All right. Let's see the next book that you have on your list.
Oh, this is not a book. I don't know. The next slide. I don't know if it's on. The best legacy you can give a child.
Oh yeah, we have that.
Is it there?
Yeah, we can see that. We can see it.
Oh, that's good. Now, I really want to share, because when I saw this thing, I was like, this was actually my plan. When I started reading Pastor's book, I said, before my children are 18, I'm going to make them read most of all these books before they are 18. Because according to the law, once you are 18, you can decide.
You can do and undo.
You can do and undo, But before you undo, or before you start making some important decisions, because I discovered that there is life. I mean the life of God. I mean the true life, the essence of living in all Pastor Sunday's books that I've read. I discovered that, the reason why I actually, got this thing is because I discovered that, you living a life of fulfillment, you getting yourself out of depression, out of fear, anxiety, worries about life. You having the necessary tools, the right knowledge about everything that surrounds you. You cannot get it anywhere written down like this. Having a blueprint of all the things you need at every point in your life, because you will be faced with challenges at every time. So what to do, what's out for the 18?
Wow, that this person is already doing.
This person is already doing. So when I saw it, so I could actually resonate. Like I just understood. I just got the picture. Like I said, now this is it. This
Wow.
is what I've been talking about.
Wow. 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 That's great. I can see. I think it's what I can see. Jide Craig there.
Yeah, yes.
Wow. Giving his son 3 books. Church shifts. Stop working for Uncle Sam.
Who am I?
Who am I?
Who am I is also there.
The best legacy. Yeah, I think. I mean, thank you for bringing this out. I think I would agree with you on it. That I mean, the best gift or the best legacy you can give your child or your children is to give them these books at a very young age. I mean, you were talking about one of the books that you read about Who Am I, and you said you wish that you read that book 10 years earlier.
Yes, 10, exactly.
Yeah, so you can imagine young children right now getting to read all these books, getting to discover who they are at a very tender age, knowing their purpose. I mean, the world will be transformed because we'll have people who are living more intentional lives, people who have a purpose and they know their purpose. Yeah, so I mean, I think it's a great one. Thank you for bringing that example out. I want to hope that our viewers would borrow a leaf from Mr. Jide Craig, who did that. All right, thank you. Over to you, sir.
So the next slide. I don't know if you guys have the next slide.
Okay.
Raising the next generation of Steve Jobs and Bill Gates.
Okay. All right. We can see it. We have it.
Okay. So yeah, this book is also one of my best books. Like everybody, every teenager, every youth will know these names. They are familiar with Steve Jobs. They are familiar with the Apple Master. They are familiar with the Window Master.
Yeah.
You know, this is Bill Gates started something. Steve Jobs built on what, you know, Pastor also spoke about this particular statement in one of the books I'm still going to mention. Now, the fact that you can also improve on an existing solution. Now, Bill Gates came up with, you know, the Microsoft. Now, Steve Jobs built, you know, making it so, you know, the era of smartphones, the era of, you know, computer handy, a mobile computer. You know, these are two guys that history will never forget these names. Steve Jobs is late now, but Bill Gates is still alive.
Yeah.
But history will never forget these two guys.
What came to your mind, Mr. Gideon? You know, this is Pastor Sunday who is writing.
Yes.
And I mean, a pastor writing on the subject of raising generation, because you know all the books you've been talking about so far. I don't know if our viewers are paying attention to all of those books you've spoken about so far. They don't sound like religious books. They don't sound like books that pastors write. So, but you, I mean, looking at this book, raising the next generation of Steve Jobs and Bill Gates, and his Pastor Sunday, as many people know him. I mean, what comes to your mind with a title like this?
Yeah, especially from the names. These two guys are not even Christians.
And these guys are not Christians.
So I was, you know, when I just said, I was like, what has church? What has I think the first question I said, what has God got to do with these people? I like, what is the?
Is it going to save our life?
Yeah, like what's the business? Like what's the common ground? And which I'm not going to say that now because there is a particular book that actually addressed this topic.
Okay.
Which is one of the pastor's best book.
Okay.
I don't know if you have an idea of the book I'm talking. It's also part of the book I'm talking about is the Kingdom Driven Life.
Okay, we've not gotten there.
We've not gotten there.
Yeah.
So that book will make me to, you know, to really do justice to this question that you asked.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
You understand?
So
but talking about this
book, yeah. What
you know,
impressions did you have when you're reading this book?
impression I got is the fact that, these guys are history makers. Like I said, history will never forget this guy.
Yeah.
They will never forget these names. It's I came to realize that history makers are thinkers. They are people that walk through their brain. They are people they are builders. These are guys they are dead to self. And Pastor says something. One point Pastor gave is that the instrumentality through which God wants to release his creative ability in us is through work.
It's true work.
Through work. That is the way God actually wants to show himself. And this is something that is that is peculiar to these two guys. So if you really want to have your name written in history, then you have to understand the importance of work.
Fantastic. Wow.
And this is one thing that in the Christendom, like in today's Christianity, we don't lay emphasis on things that will require strength. These things that will require our strength, that will require our time. But we are so buried in this lazy way of serving God. Let me use the word lazy way of serving God, which is not, which has no traits of hard work.
Yeah.
And the fact that these two guys, they are so, as the fact that they are innovators, the fact that they are co-creators, the fact that they are, these people are just doing the exact thing God did. Innovating, creating something, giving life.
So even though they are atheists,
yeah,
of which we said already, they are doing what God did. So they are replicating God here on earth.
God. And I think that was the reason why Pastor was so concerned that this thing should also happen in church as Christians.
Christians, okay.
So we don't need to we don't need to wait. Our answers to all the problems that we have faced in this world, the answers to all the problems shouldn't come from the unbelievers, but it should also come from believers. So we as believers, we can also be like these guys, because they've only applied the principles of God.
Wow.
These are people that have also converted their time through hard work. Through time, through hard work, through consistency, through perseverance, they've also created a network.
What you're doing now is that you're connected. You're seeing all the books are connected. It's like
all the books are actually connected. That is the point. That is one thing again about Pastor Sunday's books.
Tell us about it.
Pastor Sunday is it's just like a chain, which the end is actually what I see as fulfillment. So everything is intertwined, like everything is just connected. So there is no magic about the magic or the waiting on God that we seek for in church and all that.
Wow. Interesting. So the books you've reviewed, even prior this book on creating or raising the next generation of Steve Jobs. So those books is like a system. How Dr. Sunday works. Everything there's a system to the writing of his books. Everything. So before you can understand how to raise or how to become Steve Jobs and Bill Gates, then you must understand all of those things you've talked about before. The importance of time, conversion, and those principles, everything that you talked about, perseverance, is interesting. And that's something that I've also noticed myself on how Dr. Sunday writes his books. They are systemic.
They are systemic. And also, Pastor was really so concerned about the fact that there's one unique thing about these guys: their mental work, their mental labor, which anyone can do, even as Christians.
Oh, great.
The mental work, the mental labor, which anyone can actually do. The more I read Pastor Sunday's book, the more I just fall in love with him more, because he's just so passionate about Christ, about Christianity, about Christian life, about the so-called, because these are things that we're definitely lagging behind in Africa. Like we've been so deceived, thinking that all those things are they are magical powers. These things are just peculiar to whites.
Yeah.
So Pastor, and one thing that Pastor is also laid emphasis on in this book is the fact that these guys are workaholics. Like these guys, they were dead to their God's given potential, to their words. They were dead to it.
Wow.
So I would also like to talk about the next book.
Okay, the next book. All right. Let's have the next book.
Oh, Fulfilling Your Calling.
Okay. Fulfilling Your Calling.
Yeah, this book is actually, is a solitude. I will use the word a solitude book. This book is for people that are into ministry. People that are so, passionate about ministry, about their calling, service to church, service in church, and service to people and all that.
Yeah.
Understanding that God has called each and every one of us.
Beautiful.
And this book really means a lot to me because of the fact that over the years I've seen that serving, especially when you're serving. Let me say my experience as a worker in the church and all that, or my years and all that. So, and I discovered that, the right mindset, the understanding we are supposed to have, the benefits, the reason why God has really placed those things on our way, like to serve in one capacity or the other, the right mindset we are supposed to have. And when we are supposed to move from one particular spot to another spot, giving you the mind of God about what He has called you for.
Yeah.
It's so. This book is kind of too. Let me say so. I don't know what I'm to use now. Like this book is a book that everybody that is so concerned about the fivefold ministry.
Okay.
This book is one book that they really need to get, so as not to now say after the years after some years that they've actually wasted their time. The mindset every member, every Christian leader should have about the work with God and the work for God.
Beautiful. Fulfill your calling.
Yeah. And also, it is not accidental, being a Christian. You just have to know the beauty of God's calling on each and every Christian, like in our lives. We need to see the reason why He has set us aside.
Yeah. Wow. Great.
Understand the body of Christ and the role He's supposed to play also. So these things, when I was reading it, I was just like, oh, now this book is so like, it will make you have the right understanding when you are even offering your service in church, when you're serving in one capacity or the other,
To fulfill your
and
calling.
also fulfilling your call, yeah, in church. And also this book also spoke about time as well. The significance, because like I said, moving from one sport to another, you need to know when you are done with this particular assignment, on God's instruction, when you are done, when you are to start, what you are to do next, the mind of God towards every decision you're taking. So, when after reading this book, I just, it gave me this understanding that, okay, I don't need to just say, oh, I'm still waiting on God. I'm still waiting to hear that, okay, God to release me,
To release you to your next level.
All those, So, but it's just going to tell you, the mind of God, how, the kingdom is already in you. The Spirit of God is in you. So this book is just going to be telling you, okay, what to do. When you are done, you will definitely know the signs.
Beautiful. Beautiful. Wow.
And the
yeah, speak, sir. Speak.
and the importance of the liberty, the free will God has given to us. The guide, this is just, like I said, pastor's book is just like guidelines, just like man, how to understand and know for yourself what God is saying, God's calling. When you're fulfilled in one particular assignment, once you're done, you will definitely know.
Wow, great. That's the title of the book is Fulfill Your Calling. Fulfill Your Calling. How many of your books have you reviewed now? Because we've I hope you're counting.
I've actually lost. I wasn't counting actually.
Yeah, because why I'm saying that is we still have some of your books that are left. I think there will be maybe 15 of them left or 14. And we've gone like 1 hour, over 1 hour 30 minutes, close to 1 hour 45 minutes. So what do you want to do? Would you like to go through all your books and just highlight? Highlight maybe the top 2 things that you got in those books and why you think everyone should get those books.
Okay.
Yeah. So
now,
the next one that we can see is
calling purpose.
Yeah. So what's 1 thing or 2 things that this book did to you and why you chose that one of your best books?
Okay, yeah. One point I really got in this book is the fact that everything God has called us to do, He has already made preparation for it. So the only thing we just need is just to be obedient, to follow instruction and to act promptly. Then at the end of the day, we'll reach our destination, which is we'll achieve our goals.
Beautiful. All right, let me speak to our viewers because very soon we'll be opening the line for you to contribute and to share your own best books. Which of the books are your best books? If you want to contribute, please go to Facebook Messenger and search for Move Agents and write to us on Move Agent that you like to call. Please, as many people as possible, we're going to receive your calls. We're going to hear from you, and let's hear your own best books of Dr. Sunday Adelaja. All right. Okay, so we'll go back to Dr. Gideon. So let's see the next book that you like to review.
The next one is why the next slide. I don't know why you must urgently become a workaholic.
Okay.
I know definitely you if anyone is close to DSA, work is one thing. DSA,
you'll be baptized in.
Yeah.
To be like water baptism, baptized
like
in work.
Like work is the Pastor Sunday is just I'm just grateful for his life. This book, Pastor made it so clear that to be successful in life is possible.
Yeah.
There is no magic about it. everything is possible, everything is achievable. You know, the reason why you celebrate successful people is because there is no successful individual you've read on earth that is not a workaholic. You must be there to work. You must be willing to work and work. And, you know, Pastor made it so, you know, Pastor gave examples of, you know, US, you know, the attitude to work.
Yeah.
You know, and anybody that you see, even Pastor, there was one part in the book that Pastor Chief in vacation, that during vacation, why you can still be working even
instead of chilling.
Instead of chilling. And that part actually, you know, I was just laughing. I said, DSA. You know, even while on vacation, you must go on. You want to go on vacation, okay, no problem. But do you know that you can still be working even while on vacation? And Pastor said, you know, become a friend. You know, this particular point I can't remember. He said, become a friend of books and library.
Become a friend
of a friend to books,
and libraries.
You know, so I'm not actually surprised that Pastor has written over 100 books in English and over 400 books in Russian. Yeah. Because the only thing he can do, the only thing he can give, the only thing he is doing, he has done to save the world is just to keep writing
these books.
Because I remember there was a time, you know, all these books all these books Pastor has written, you know, I can give history of, especially the English. I don't know about the Russian book, but especially the English books. I remember that the 2014 summer, Pastor brought some pile of handwritten. He wrote them, all these books that is typed. You know, he already wrote them with his hands. Before he transferred it into his soft copy, into his iPad, and he was showing us, and he said, "This thing I'm showing you guys, I've done it over 30 years ago."
He wrote them in his hands.
He wrote them, yeah. He showed us the hard copy, and that day I was like, "No, this man is just exceptional."
Yeah.
And he was just laughing at us.
30 years ago, he was written those
he said he has been so consistent with it. So he had to transfer them. You know, he's made a special cover for the hard copy.
Yeah.
He said you've seen it, yeah.
I've seen it. It's called his Book of Revelations.
Exactly, They're like
5 or 6 of them.
Thick. Exactly. Thick like this.
Yeah.
So having that experience with Pastor, you know, he was always putting us to work. Like you know yourself that, you know, if you are around Pastor, you will just develop the love for work unconsciously. Even if it is not in your system, even if it's not in your DNA, Pastor will find a way to make it into your DNA. So this book actually really shed more light about the importance of work and how you can be great and achieve and become anything you want to achieve through hard work and through being a workaholic.
Wow. So the book, let's go back to the book and then you can move to the next one. So this book you just spoke about is urgently, let's say the book, How to Urgently Become a Workaholic. Let's look at the word urgently, like don't waste time.
Don't waste time. Because, and also, Pastor also made reference to this point in the book that I spoke about, which is How to Regain Your Lost Years.
Yes.
So the time you have left, you have to be swift. You have to work so as to get those things you've lost back.
Beautiful. All right. Yeah. So I would like you to go to the next one, and then we'll see if we have some callers and we can get them rolling. All right. So let's go to the next book that you have.
Yeah, this is the Kingdom. Now this is the next slide, which is the Kingdom Driven Life. I don't know if you guys have it.
Yeah, we have it now. We have it.
Okay, yeah. I want us to play the video I attached to it first.
Okay, you have a video there.
Yes, I have a video. Yeah.
All right, let's watch the video first then. All right. So our friends, we are going to play the video right now on Kingdom-Driven Life. And if you want to contribute, you can contribute by writing to us, Facebook Messenger, Move Agents. All right. Write to us that you'd like to contribute. Very soon, we'll open the line for conversations.
Do you want to live a kingdom-driven life? Do you want to discover your divine purpose? Do you want to discover the life you were born to live and ignite it with passion? The Kingdom-Driven Life by Pastor Sunday Adelaja is a book that will help you to do just that. You may have been battling with questions like, what on earth am I here for? What is the purpose of life? Matthew chapter 6, verse 33, Jesus instructs us to seek first the kingdom. Seeking the kingdom of God should be our priority. If we are going to make a significant impact on the earth, we need to understand God's original intent for mankind. If we are going to possess and disciple nations, we need to understand the precepts and principles of the kingdom. Pastor Sunday Adelaja's book will help you discover God's priority for mankind, your original purpose for existence, and the source of meaning behind life. In this book, you will be equipped with the tools and strategies for promoting and expanding the kingdom. According to Johnny Bergerson, the owner of Kingdom.com, this is one of the top 3 books written in the last 1,000 years. To get your own copy today, go to www.this-productrocks.com/kingdom-driven-life or simply place an order on Amazon.
Wow. Did you hear what the lady said? That one person who has a whole website on the kingdom, he said this book, The Kingdom-Driven Life, is one of the top 3 books on the kingdom for the last 1,000 years.
1,000 years, yes.
Wow.
You know, this book, now, this book will, I actually cannot say there is a lifespan for the principles, for the things that Pastor Sunday wrote in this book. I don't think there is a lifespan, because this book, everything written in this book is actually based on the truth. And truth will not expire.
True.
This book will continue to be relevant especially for the church. You know, after Pastor did this book, after he published this book, I went through. I think when I read it, it was actually the 3rd time I will be going through the book. So I saw that our church, which is kind of similar, which is an in-depth, a more in-depth or a detailed message from just like an extension, but this time around well detailed from Church Shift.
Okay.
You know, I discovered that we are actually far away from anything that has to do with kingdom work. We are the church. The church I was going. When I read this, I was just so I said, yes, I've actually been asking myself the questions, the solutions that Pastor wrote in this book. What the responsibilities, our role as kingdom, as kingdom kings, as kings and queens, our role. I've been asking myself that. These things, I used to think that we are just to fold our hands and just maybe pray on God and just allow things to just happen miraculously and all that. Because I noticed that since the time we've been praying, we still pray for even the things that unbelievers don't even pray about, and the result unbelievers are getting.
And they have it in abundance.
So I used to ask myself, is it that? Or are these things not meant for us? That was my conclusion. I just concluded that before I read this book, I just concluded that maybe they shouldn't be our focus. I just said maybe these things, they shouldn't be our focus. Which is when it comes to the problem we have in our society, in politics, in our economy, in security, in development. So I saw that, oh, maybe it shouldn't be Christian. Heaven is our home. Yes, exactly. I was, I had the belief that, we are waiting for the kingdom to come. We're waiting for God's kingdom to just come.
So
waiting for the
go to heaven.
go to heaven. But even when I concluded, I was not satisfied with my conclusion before reading this book.
Okay.
I knew something was wrong somewhere. But my environment then, I was not privileged to actually get the right knowledge. Yeah. So when Pastor now wrote this book, I say, yes, I've also been saying that something is wrong.
Like I got it.
Yeah.
This is it.
So this is it. So I was like, so now everything we are busy doing is just religious activities.
Wow.
The fact that when it comes to the business world, we are absent. When it comes to innovations, technology, advancement, we are absent. Christians, we are less concerned about our sphere, about the territories, about the kingdom of God. And Pastor, one thing that now melts that I actually wept when Pastor made this point is that for you to be less concerned about all those things shows you have no love in your heart. That means you desire people to die and perish in darkness. So it is the love that people have. It is the love for nature, for human beings, that has made them to come about innovating and creating things just for the betterment of everyone. So if we as Christians are saying that we are not concerned about that, then we have no love in our hearts. And we've actually shut our ears to the need. Because Pastor made it so clear that God also has a need. And the need is to see his kingdom. The need is to see his love. Show. So if we don't do all this, it shows that we have no love. And the priorities for us, our priority is to what? Is to take over every territory, every sphere of life for him. Which is the kingdom mandate.
Beautiful. Beautiful. Wow. That's the book right there. The Kingdom Driven Life. The Kingdom Driven Life. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth. All right. So let's pan through the remaining books that you have, at least for us to see your top 20 that you prepared. So let's see the next one. Okay, let's see the next one, and then
the next one is how to become a developed nation.
Something brief so we can have callers.
Yes. Yeah. Now, how to become great through dignity of labor. Yeah, this one actually, Pastor really laid emphasis on how the US, the United States of America that we celebrate today, has differentiated this country from every other country. And what has made not just the United States, even all other developed countries, is the dignity of labor, their attitude towards work.
Wow.
Action, they are always action oriented and work oriented. Pastor made it so clear that they are ready to work. They are ready even when they've solved the problem on ground. They engage themselves to even foresee the problems that are yet to come
in the future.
In the future.
Beautiful. So reading this book, were you able to see? I'm using Nigeria as a template. What did you pick out? Speaking about how to become a developed nation through the dignity of labor. Being a Nigerian yourself, what was your impression? What were you feeling? What was going on in you?
Well, yeah. When I was in Nigeria, we believe work is a cause. We believe too much of work. You work. You are not supposed to work. You just get favor. Favor over work, grace.
Yeah, they say favor is definitely one day of how do they say it? Is it a day of favor is better than 1,000 days of labor?
So we have we have a wrong mindset about labor, about work. So, and that is, and is not surprising to me, if after reading this book. That is why Nigeria is where it is till today.
Wow.
And that is the reason why we just have few individuals or few private enterprise that are really, getting the wealth of the nation, because they don't joke. They understand this principle, which is the principle of labor. So wow. It's actually differentiates even from US, from the developed countries to the developing countries. The difference is still their attitude towards labor, towards work.
Yeah, work. How to become a developed nation through dignity of labor. So if Nigeria can embrace this. But do you think, but from you, I just want to ask you, do you think people are, do you think this book will be amongst people's top 3 books, how to become a developed nation? Do you think people are really reading this book? From your own opinion?
From my own opinion, I think because of the level of ignorance in our society today, yeah, it's the reason why this book might not be that appealing to or captivating to people, and people might not really want to show interest because people still have the secrets of the results that we celebrate in other countries. The secrets are still hidden from most people, so people still don't know that this is the secret. People still don't know, but I will actually encourage everyone to also get, if they've not read this book. People might think it's about nation. No, it's about how you understand the work ethics, like the importance, the right knowledge, what you should know about labor and about work.
Beautiful.
You have to be work oriented. You have to have the orientation, the right orientation about work. And not just see it as a course, but see it as an avenue for you to be experienced.
Wow, great. Well, that's the book, How to Become a Developed Nation Through the Dignity of Labor. I would like to announce once again to our viewers, please, if you want to share your best books to celebrate Dr. Sunday's life, his legacy through his books that he has written, please, you could just go to Facebook Messenger and write to us that you'd like to contribute to today's discussion on top DSA's books or DSA's best books. So you just go to Facebook Messenger, search for Move Agents, and write to us that you like to call in. We'd definitely love to hear your own book. Which book has transformed your life? Which books of the Sunday would you say are your best books that changed your mindset, changed your understanding, gave you a new paradigm, gave you a new course to walk? And we would like to hear from you. We'd like to get your feedbacks. And I also like to announce that you could get all of these books. I mean, look at this book. This is one of Dr. Sunday's latest book, and this is actually his latest book, titled Damaged by Religion. And this book and many other, and all of Dr. Sunday's books, you could get them free by subscribing to Amazon Kindle Unlimited. So if you subscribe to Amazon Kindle Unlimited, you could get all of these books for free. And if you want to order for the soft, for the hardback or the paperback, you could order on Amazon, or you could order for the books by writing to the office here. That is DSA'sbooks@gmail.com. So write to DSA'sbooks@gmail.com if you want to order for the soft copy, and if you want to order for it in bulk. And if you are in Nigeria and you want to order for Dr. Sunday's books, you could contact Mrs. Chioma. I want to hope that she's online, or maybe if there's someone who could give the details of Mrs. Chioma in Nigeria for you to get these books. So we're celebrating Dr. Sunday. Today is the first day, and we're starting with, we started with DSA's best books. And for the next 27 days, we're going to be talking about different, diverse areas, diverse aspects. I tell you, it's going to be an interesting ride. This is just one, and this is just about his books. And this we've had Dr. Gideon share his own best books, and we look forward to hearing from other viewers who are watching us right now to share on their own best books. But Dr. Gideon still has some books to go, so let's have him continue on his books.
So, okay, the next book, I don't know if you guys have the slide.
We have this.
Where there is problem, there is money.
Where there is problem, there is money. Yeah.
You know, when I first saw the title, I was like, what is the relationship between problem and money? The African background that I had is to run away or to avoid problems. So, and I never believed that there could be any relationship between money and problems. Wow. So, but I've learned in some of his books that I've like, I should be open to knowledge. I should be open to, to know more. I should, so I just, okay, let me see, because I'm just interested in the money aspect. So let me see the relationship that that problem has with money. And to my amazement, when I read the book, I was like, wow, I never knew that there could be any relationship between problem and money. Because problem is problem, money is money. So that was my belief before I read, that. But when I now saw that, Pastor said every successful business is solving a problem. And now said that now it's true. But I never saw it in that manner. I was like, wow, this is so true.
Wow. Say the statement again.
Every successful business,
yes,
is solving a problem.
Every successful business is solving a problem. It's about solving a problem.
So I was like, so that phrase, that word just keep raising. I was like, it's true. But I never saw it in that manner. I never saw, I never saw this whole thing. And I was like, wow, it is true. I just started listing all the business, like even water. I just started with even water, the water company, or they are solving the problem of taste, of taste. There's, I was like, oh my God, this also really blew me. I was like, wow. So that actually made me I kept on reading the book, and to the fact that there was one point, my pastor was now like, that you are not needed without problems. That one I was like, when I pray in church to avoid problems.
And he's saying that
I'm not needed
if there are no problems.
Without that there is no reason for my existence. So you mean problem is for me?
But you're going to church to pray against the problem.
To pray against the problem.
That God should take away that problem.
Yes. And so so I was like, so you mean problem is now for me? And no, problem is not for me. So it was when I now read it, but I now understand it is true. The pastor is actually saying the truth. That the religious mindset that I'm supposed to pray against it, not knowing that I was actually created to solve it, to be a solution. And I think Pastor said something about even the naming Adam, God gave Adam to do. It was a problem of they have to have a name. So Pastor said, so I was like, wow. So all this while that I've been praying I've been praying against problem. Rather, I need to about this book, when I read it, I now saw that I need to redirect my prayer and say, God should help me to see and to give me solutions on how to look into all the crises and all the problems I'm faced with around.
Wow. So it changed. So it changed
Changed my
your
mindset, my
psyche.
orientation, about problem
About problems.
and how I can actually be wealthy and how I can create wealth.
Wow. So where there is problem, where there is problem there is money. Where
Yeah.
there is problem there is money. Beautiful, beautiful. Let's go. Okay, yeah. Continue.
Yeah, just the next book.
Okay, the
Because
next
it's
book.
like a sister. Yeah, I think they are twin. You know, the next book says problems, your shortcut to prominence.
Okay, let's see the next book. Slide. Yeah.
Problems, your shortcut to prominence. Now, this book is just like a sister book to the first book. You know, you want to be an history maker. You want to be known for something. You have to be a problem solver. You have to always give a solution. You have to be solution oriented. You have to know that your sole purpose is to actually create solutions. So when I read this book, you know, what actually came to my mind was that, okay, yeah, prominence, you know, kind of, I actually I related prominence to fulfillment. And why would problem now give me that kind of thing, which is, to me, I see prominence as fulfillment. So I was like, okay, what has problem actually, what has it got to do with prominence?
Yeah.
So, and I was like, okay. So when Pastor now said something that number one, like he already wrote in the other book, and he also repeated the same, that we are not immune to problems. We are surrounded by problems. And I should go and look, to write down the names of the people that are famous today. They are famous not because they were destined to be famous. They are famous because they solved one problem or the other. And the pastor even gave an example of a lady, a Nigerian lady, that started this air ambulance, and due to the fact that, you know, it was a problem because the sister died of you know, poor medical facility and all that.
Yeah.
And she just came up with the idea of this air ambulance, like to transport people by air, emergency ambulance.
Yeah.
And pastor cited several examples of people that have practically solved problem and they became prominent for it.
Yeah. Yeah. So the problems that we go to church to pray for God to take away are
Yes.
the same problems that are meant to lead us to our prominence.
Our prominence.
Wow.
And they are those problems. We are not even supposed to pray to God that God should take them away, but rather we are supposed to pray to God that God should help us to be solutions to all those problems.
Wow.
So changing my theory about prayer,
problems.
about problems,
prayer.
yeah.
Beautiful. Before you go to the next book, I would like to give this announcement to our viewers who are watching us right now. You know, this month we're celebrating Dr. Sunday, and we are going to have, we're talking about DSA'S books, but I wanted to save the best for the last, right? Or yeah, save the best for the last. That's how they say it. You know, throughout this month, we're going to have a book promo for Dr. Sunday's books, just as we always do with the book for the HMT book promo during the HMT period. But this time, for this month, we are offering all of Dr. Sunday's books at a discounted rate. So if you missed out for the HMT book promo and you were not able to join and catch in the book promo, now you have this month to partake in the book promo for Dr. Sunday's birthday. So this is Dr. Sunday's birthday special book promo for all of his books at a discounted rate. And I'm talking about not the e-copy, but you getting the real book in your hands. So if you want to partake in this book promo, please write to us at dsasbooks@gmail.com for you to partake in this book promo. So this is DSA's birthday book promo. All right. So tell your friend to tell a friend about this opportunity to get a discount of Dr. Sunday's books. Okay. So that's it. Let's get back to Dr. Gideon for him to continue his top 20 books. All right. So we just finished Problems, Your Shortcut to Prominence.
Yeah.
Beautiful. Let's go to the next one.
Yeah, the next one I would really want to share with our viewers is the topic, the mountain of ignorance. You know, there is this particular point that really struck my eyes when Pastor gave this point. Pastor said that you can never live better than what you know. And for some minutes, I was just thinking about that point. So after I finished reading this book, I now understood the reason why people act, or the reason why people go about their things the way they do, because it is just about what they know. So they cannot even do more than the knowledge they have. And you know, like you cannot describe Pastor Sunday, you cannot describe DSA without talking about books, without talking about knowledge.
Yeah.
You cannot even be close to Pastor Sunday and not be a student of research and not
True.
You know, Pastor Sunday is just so interested in knowledge.
True.
And I think that is even the reason why he's so passionate and is not even relenting in writing books. I've not seen a man of God that has as much books as Pastor Sunday has. A pastor. Like, you know, like I shared earlier on that this is actually the best legacy he has actually given to generations to come. So now getting yourself out of that darkness, you know, Pastor Sunday made it so clear that the light God was talking about is knowledge, and the darkness is ignorance. And it's not. Oh, I think I attached a video to this particular slide. I don't know if okay. I think that video should be played. Yeah. All
right. Let's see. Can we have the video on mountain of ignorance?
Yes, that's the video. I think. So.
All right.
Also, the point that Pastor made that point that, you know, Satan is not the problem we have anymore. Sin is not our problem.
Okay. All right. So what will happen? Like continue your line of thoughts. We'll get back to play that
to the video. Okay. Now, so Pastor made it so, you know, in this book that, you know, we are busy blaming, putting the blame game on Satan, on sin, and all that. No. That the major problem we have now in the world today is ignorance, which is darkness. And the light is knowledge.
Wow.
Because this is the same understanding that Jesus Christ had.
So what did after reading this book, what did it do to you?
Well, this book, because this book was actually the first few books I read. This book actually made me to always want to read more.
Okay.
Because Pastor made it like I won't use the word fear. Like the danger for you not having the right knowledge. The danger of you not seeking for knowledge is almost like, not even is almost, it's as simple as you being dead.
Wow.
So you will value knowledge, you will value information.
You will be hungry for it.
You'll be hungry for it. Because it's like you're dying every, like you just don't have, you being ignorant in this particular aspect. It's just like you're already gone, you're already dead in that area. So Pastor really made, really stirred up my hunger for book reading and for seeking for knowledge. And seeing the damage, again, Pastor actually made it so clear in this particular book about the damage of ignorance. The damage of ignorance is just too enormous that we cannot. I personally, I can't just afford to be ignorant of some things about life.
Yeah.
And the fact that I have to see that my love for reading books has to increase. Because Pastor already made it so plain in the book that, see, if you are not knowledgeable, you are just as good as, you are just as dead as, you are just dead, you are not even existing. And just know that this is one area that the devil will completely have you. Because the devil himself will want to keep us in ignorance.
Sure.
And it's every point, every chapter, Pastor clearly stated that, see, if you have knowledge, is light. Ignorance is darkness. No two way about it. So that is just it.
Wow.
Knowledge is light, ignorance is darkness.
Wow. Interesting. We'll come back to the video later on, all right? So, but let's go to the next book so we can see.
No one.
Yeah, let's see the next book and then we'll come back to that video. The video is being prepared. All right?
Yeah, the next book is No One Is Better Than You. This is a book that just the title alone made me read this book, because I just just to give yourself this kind of self-assurance, you just really want to know why you think some people are better off, or is it that God created some people specially, and or is it genetic? And Pastor just debunked those theory and just say, no, that is not true. The reason why we think some people are better than us is because it's only for one reason: they converted their time better. So the word better there is just time conversion. And what they do, the price they pay, you are not paying. So if you think anyone is good, is better than you, go and look and search for what they are doing that you are not doing. What they are doing right that you are not doing.
Yeah.
Pastor said the conversion of time is what divides people into class.
Wow. So an
in-depth,
continue.
An in-depth understanding about time again is embedded in this book.
Wow.
He said, even as human beings, we are products of time. Everything that is existing is as a result of time. Time is the only world God has given each and every one of us equally. Yeah. So the mindset or the knowledge that, God gave some people are special. This is special grace, special anointing, special. They are, they are just special from God. They are God's favorite, and those things are not true. It's just about what they do with their time.
Wow. So no one is better than you. What made you choose this book as your top 20 books?
Yeah, because the fact that it's solving the problem of complexity, and you wanting to see that you are not doing any damage to your self-worth, to your identity. you getting an assurance, you just having some clarity, like an energy to wanting to like say that okay, you can still do something and not feeling too inferior or having a low self-esteem. So at one point in time, you just think that okay, some things are not just achievable, then you give up easily. That was actually one of the reasons why I decided I showed interest in this book, and I included it because this is one thing. This is like an energy. It's like a fuel that will keep you going. See that, oh, nothing is so special about these people. Nothing is so special about this particular thing. Nothing is so special about this result. The only thing that is making it so special is that time was invested in it.
Beautiful. So the title of the book you're talking about is No One
is better than you.
Better than you. No one is better than you. Wow. No one is better than you. Great. There's a video you wanted us to show about the mountain of ignorance.
Yeah.
So let's see if we can. I want to believe that the video can be shown now. Let our viewers see the video that you wanted us to see on the mountain of ignorance. Is the video ready? On the mountain of ignorance. All right. So we'll get the video right now. Meanwhile, our viewers, if you want to call in, I would like to beckon once again that you write to us that you would like to partake in this show, to share your books, your top books. All right. So we have the video. Let's watch the video, and then we'll continue.
Hello, everybody. Sunday Adelaja here from Kyiv, Ukraine. You know, the greatest problem of the world today is not Satan. And the greatest problem of our world today is not even sin. We make too much noise and too much ado about these two things. We talk a lot and we make too much noise about sin. And then we make too much noise about Satan. What do you mean, Pastor Sunday? You want to say that you don't believe in sin or Satan? Well, sin used to be the biggest problem in the world until somebody did something about it. Do you know the problem of sin has actually been resolved? Jesus dealt with the problem of sin 2,000 years ago. What you need to do to get power and authority over sin is to simply go and accept Jesus, acknowledge Jesus, and, put yourself under the lordship of Jesus. What do you do to get yourself free from the power, not just of sin, but of Satan as well? Same thing. You need to believe in what Jesus has done. In his redemptive power on the cross, he defeated sin and Satan and resolved the problem of those two greatest enemies of man once and for all. So why are we still busy talking about sin and Satan as if Jesus had not even come? Ignorance. Ignorance. And that is what my next book is about. My next book is called The Mountain. So big, such a huge mountain. The Mountain of Ignorance. I hope you get it. If you pre-order it this week, because this book is so important that I'm actually giving it away almost at a giveaway free price. Can you believe it? $1. It's going to cost $18 when it's released. That's after Saturday. So today is Monday, 20th of February. By 25th of February, it's going to be officially launched. But from the 26th, it's going to be $18. And then the Kindle version will be $9. So what I'm saying is, this week, just for these 5 days, from the 28th to the 25th, you could get this book, you know how much? for 99 cents. 99 cents, less than $1. This is a book that's costed $18. Why? Because I just want people to get free and to be set free from this huge mountain that has become the reality of our world. People suffering, people dying, people getting sick, things just going awry for people just because they don't know that the only problem they have really is not Satan. The only problem they have is not with sin. The only problem they have really is with ignorance. And this book is going to help you to deal with it. So, go to Amazon, go to Okada Books, or go to another place where you could get it, Mountain of Ignorance by Sunday Adelaja, or especially on Amazon. 5 days just for giveaway free book. Buy as many as you could buy, and get as many as you know people to buy them for themselves just for $1. And then, but from the night, that's the Kindle. The $1 is the Kindle book. We are only doing the pre-sale, pre-order for Kindle book. So if you order it from Monday 20th today to 25th, that's the Kindle book. It will be for $1, 99 cents, almost for free. We are not doing pre-order for the paperback, but the paperback is going to be costing $18, and it's starting on the 26th. So, look for the book. You see it right now on the page. Look for the book, Mountain of Ignorance. Get your copy and spread the word. And I'm going to be coming, I'm going to be 50 this year. So before my 50th birthday, I want to release 25 books, 25 new books. They've been written, but I just need to release them. That's my gift to the world on my 50th birthday. Go.
Beautiful. Wow. Great. This was 2 years ago. This was 2 years ago. So Mountain of Ignorance is the book. Yeah. Thank you for bringing that video. Okay, so we still have some more books to go, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so let's get to the next one.
Yeah. The danger of monoculturalism.
Okay, let's see that.
Yeah, one thing about this book, the reason why I actually, because the reason why I chose this book as my top 20, and this one being, why I included this one is the fact that, I selected books that, like I always say, pastor will always write books that will solve problems in our society. And pastor giving me the knowledge on why problems are meant for us and why we are supposed to be solutions, and which this book is also another book that is talking about the problem of racism, the problem of people just only being monotone, just only having this idea or the ideology they have about their society is just for a particular group of people.
Yeah.
Not willing to be open to embrace people's the cultural diversity and different social ethnic groups and different cultural backgrounds. We know that some countries are just too into their own culture that they are not open to other people.
Yeah.
And it actually poses a lot of problems, not just for these countries alone, even for the world at large. So pastor addressing the importance and why we have to see the beauty in the diverse culture that we have, that God has given to us. The fact that God created some people black skin and some people are Caucasian, some people are different, and the beauty and why we should see it. And if we continue in having a monocultural society, then we should expect chaos. We should expect conflict, riots in the society. So, and there was another aspect pastor also went in the fact that how well are we open to people's opinion, different opinions actually, and not holding on to our own ideology or our own belief about any issue at all. So Pastor is like, as human beings, we need to also be willing to open ourselves to people's different opinion, perspective, approaches to different issues. And then we will be able to identify the connection between people's actions.
Yeah. Wow. But it's interesting though, because I know this kind of book, especially The Danger of Monoculturalism, I read it recently, but I know it's not a book that most people even want to read about. I mean, The Danger of Monoculturalism. Oh, but it's interesting that you have this book as one of your top 20 books. Yeah. But you being an African guy in Ukraine, which is in Europe here, how did this book help your psyche, your psychology?
Yeah. So in fact, that is the reason why I read this book.
Okay.
And that is the reason why I included it in my top 20, because I saw that Ukraine would be more better if they can see the danger in the kind of cultural system or the kind of society they have, and be more open to international community. They are still not doing the things that they are supposed to do, because the issue of the segregation, even in school, that was even one of the reasons why I read, what I faced in school, and the kind of discrimination they give to blacks. And blacks are not the only foreigners that are studying in Ukraine. We also have people from other European countries as well, and the kind of preferential treatments they give these people. So that was even one of the reasons why I said I really want to know what Pastor will have to say, and I now see that this is the reason why the rate at which, or the pace at which they are going, is still slow, because of some of these things that they are still holding on to. Not being open to people's, to various cultures, and the diversity, the beauty
in diversity.
Diversity.
As you're speaking about this book, also I don't know if you read Dr. Sunday's book, The Beauty in Nigerians' Diversity.
Yes, that actually addressed our ethnic groups. Yeah.
So what do you think? Imagine we're having this book, The Danger of Monoculturalism, and the book, The Beauty in Nigerians' Diversity, and we combine that book and we have Nigerians read these two books. What kind of effect do you think will happen in Nigeria?
Oh, wow. Number one, we will embrace the Northerners. The Southerners will embrace the Northerners. The Southerners will see the beauty in the Northerners, and the Northerners will also they will also know that they have to be more open to other ethnic groups, and this will really solve our intertribal wars. This will really end even the terrorist attack we are facing, because I think it could still be related to all these things. A particular ethnic group believing that Nigeria is just all about their culture, or a country believing that the existence of their country in the world among other countries is just all about their own culture and their own system, and not willing to be open to other people's approaches to issues, how they've been able to achieve some certain things, why they are who they are today. We talk about countries like America, we talk about countries like, before this, even at first they opened their borders. We see the fact that some countries, even some European countries, are actually doing so well because of the fact that they have a little understanding of some things that Pastor also wrote about the fact that we need to see the beauty that God, how will it be if everybody is just black? Like, will there be anything so amazed? Like, are we going to be so surprised if if everything is just black or if everything is just white? The reason why we could identify black is because we've seen white, and the reason why we know that this is white is because we've seen black.
Yeah.
And the reason why we've seen the especially the people in the Asian part. Oh, so these are different people also, different from the whites and the blacks, So embracing and seeing that, this is God's doing. And why God has gifted all these, different ethnic groups, different cultures, a lot too, that we can learn from one another,
Wow. Amazing. So imagine all of these books, they are carrying the answers to the prevailing problems that
we're facing in the world. Yes,
in the world, in Nigeria, even here in Europe, and they're all in these books. Man, I mean, people need to know that imagine people suffering and not knowing that they have the solution to the answers.
Yes.
And I think that's one of the reasons why we're doing this program, for people to know that, hey, you don't have to grope in the dark. You don't have to suffer anymore. You don't have to suffer in ignorance. I mean, you can get the answers to your books. And look at all the books you've mentioned so far. I mean, just diverse, just in different areas. And that's Dr. Sunday, just preferring solutions to different problems. Good, fantastic. All right, let's see the next book. You still have some books more.
Yeah, when to pray, when not to pray, and when to stop praying.
Yeah.
Do you have that?
Yeah, we have it there.
Okay, yeah, this book, this also, this changed my, my mindset about the religious way of praying and giving me the right understanding about prayers. The fact that, I need to know, from this book, I came to an understanding that I'm supposed to know when I'm to pray, when I'm supposed to stop praying and start working. That was what Pastor meant by when to stop praying, when not to pray. When I'm supposed to, apply, God's, apply God's principle and, start putting my prayers into actions. And, at that point, I need to just know that, that I just have to stop. And Pastor, the example I will not forget, I will never forget in this book is the example of Nehemiah that Pastor gave. Pastor actually made it so clear. Like when Pastor described the story of Nehemiah, for the first time, that story made sense to me.
Have you not had maybe somebody preach about it before?
Yeah, I've had, but not in the concept, when the only thing I heard about that was that Nehemiah prayed. So they just stop at that. But the part that the guy had to tell them that let me go to my country to where and help build and fight.
Wow.
So when Pastor said he did not leave the mountain and just to go back to go and serve the king, because we were serving the king, if I'm right.
Yeah.
Yeah. So he did not. Oh yes, I've prayed. That is just where we've prayed about it. For peace to reign in our country. Let's just pray to God that peace should reign in Nigeria. Let's pray for this country. Let's pray for that country. People are not even. There is a recent post I saw that Africans still call on the God of Israelites, where Israelites are busy. The real Israelites are busy building nuclear weapons. Can we see the danger?
Bringing innovations.
And building nuclear weapons to defend their country. And Africans are still busy calling on the God of Israelites to come and protect them. And the real Israelites, this is and that is one thing Pastor spoke about. The fact that yes, God didn't give us this ability, this innovative ability, just for us to now have it and to dump it and just praying and keep praying and praying, even for the things He has done.
Wow.
Pastor was like, we pray to a default, we pray to a level that we even pray for the things God has even done. That is that bad.
God, they've taught us that prayer is the key.
The
Prayer
key is
the
the
master key.
Prayer is the master key. Waiting on God, and after praying, I remember, nobody prays like I think no Pentecostal church prays like CAC. After revival, I remember when I was like, after revival like this, we'll be so tired. We'll be so weak to even act, to even do anything, because we've spent all our energy praying. And Pastor said, no, that is not the right mindset. That there is time to pray and there is time for action.
Wow. I like the title of this
prayer
book.
Paired with action.
Yeah.
Will definitely
Produce
give
results. Because this book, some people will hear you talk now and say, or hear Dr. Sunday talk and say, oh, that man is backslided.
Yes.
He does not like praying and he's not a spiritual person. But this book is so interesting because this book says when to pray. So there's a time to pray,
yes.
When not to pray, and when to stop praying. Yeah, I think it's a great. It's a great
book. It's a great book, actually.
Great. Let's see. Sorry for cutting you short. Let's see if we have maybe one of our viewers who has read this book, and maybe this book is one of your favorite books, or you have other books that you want to talk about. Please, you can register, and so that we can get you to speak about any of these books. All right. So when to pray, when not to pray, and when to stop praying. That's by Dr. Sunday Adelaja. Great. Okay, so let's see the next book that you have.
Yeah, this one is said, "Where are the heroes? Let the heroes arise." Actually, this book, when I wanted, at first I didn't want to read it.
Okay.
Because it was kind of like I saw it to be a topic I might not be interested in. But to my surprise, when I read it, I now saw that, wow, this book is just about becoming a personality. Like day to day, like you can be. I was thinking, being an hero is the world, the layman's knowledge about you being an hero and all that. So that was the knowledge I had before I read it. But when I now read the first chapter in this book, I now saw that, oh, this book is actually talking about the topic, but in a personalized, being an hero is not peculiar to some people or to some families or to some
they are chosen
by God, or maybe let's say 1 out of 1,000. No. Like we can, every day of our life, we can become an hero. We can be a pastor simplified the topic by just making it that being a personality. So who is the personal? Pastor made it okay. The first thing, who is the personality? And one thing. So there is this point that really blew my mind. My pastor said that a personality is someone that has gone beyond the concerns of his daily survival. Yeah. I was like, so to become an hero is as simple as overcoming you living
just living for yourself.
Living for yourself. So this was one point that I said, oh, that really struck my heart, and I said, okay, then I will continue to read this book. Wow. And pastor said that to become a personality, you must also live beyond the life of just having a family. You must live for something bigger, something higher.
Beautiful.
So not just the normal routine.
Yeah.
So living for something, and it was like, we see activists, we see different activists, people who have, stood for this, made their points clear, why this shouldn't be happening, why they believe so strongly about a particular, opinion and ideology, and this is what they stood for. So they are living a life, and not just for self alone, but they are living a life that an higher or a more superior life.
Beautiful.
And there was one point that said, Pastor said something that if your absence is felt when you leave a place, then you were actually needed in that place.
Yeah, very true. Very true.
So while you are in at every point in your life, you must live for a purpose. Like, you must be significant. You must stand for something.
Beautiful.
So this is how you become an hero.
Wow. Where are the heroes? Let the heroes arise. Beautiful, beautiful. Okay, so let's see the next one, next slide that you have.
Stop working for Uncle Sam. I also have a video on this.
Okay.
I don't know if I should talk about it before the video. I think I should talk about it before the video.
Okay.
Yeah. So like at first I didn't understand the word Uncle Sam. Actually, that was my first time of hearing the word Uncle Sam, because I was like, Uncle Sam, is he a name of a person? So that was even the reason why I read the book, because I just wanted to know. So when I now read the book, I now saw that, wow, this book is actually one book that everybody that desire to live the work system, everybody that wants to be free from not just being an employee but becoming an employer, everybody that is thinking the mindset, I just really need to just conclude about this, because before reading this book is for, like, I would say the categories of people that should read this book.
Okay.
The people that are about to be gainfully employed, number one, the kind of mindset they are supposed to have. Even though the book says stop working, but pastor also give the reason, even if you must work for someone, what should be your perspective, what should be your mindset?
Good.
You should understand your time frame, you should understand the limited time that you have. And even while working for Uncle Sam, while being employed, how to get out of the system.
Good.
What are you supposed to do? What are the preparations? So these are the things I got from this book, and I was like, wow, this book is just too revolutionary. This book is one of the best, actually, of one of his best books for me, actually. So, and even if you are already out of the system, what are you supposed to do?
Okay.
How can you start?
You say you want to talk about the categories. So the first category that you said was the people who are yet to be gainfully employed.
Employed, yes.
Okay, then the second category of people are
They are already employed.
the people who are already employed.
Employed, yes.
Okay. And then
the third category are the people that have retired, or the people that are already out of the system.
Okay.
And also the last people are the people that is also related to the third category. The last people are the people that they don't want to be employed, but they just want to be financially free. They want to be, they want to start up a business. What should they do? The practical steps to take.
Wow. So imagine people don't even know there's a book like this.
Man. Then everybody will, like, pastor said that everybody will end up being a slave. And people will be like, when pastor mentioned the word slave, I was like, wow, it is true, the modern day slavery. Working for someone and retiring, living on pension. Tell your children to go to school, to work for someone, to be employed, they'll retire, and they live on pension. So that is.
Wow. So just like you're just mortgaging your life and your destiny
exactly
for some money. Wow.
Peanuts, yeah.
Wow. You said there's a video here, right? So
yes,
let's see the video.
Here we go at last to the way of liberty. Here we go at last on the way to liberty. What liberty? Liberty from Uncle Sam. Here we go at last. Like I said, this is probably going to be one of the most important books that have ever been written. Uncle Sam. Stop working for Uncle Sam. You know what? Today is the 6th of March, which means the book is already out there on Kindle, on Amazon. You could already go to Amazon right now and get your own copy. It is there. Let your way to freedom begin right now. Your path to liberation begin instantly. Go get your own copy of Stop Working for Uncle Sam, because it starts today. The pre-order starts right now.
All right, because these videos are old videos, so people don't confuse the date and say today is the day that is for pre-order. But I mean, you could see the excitement with Dr. Sunday. I mean, maybe I should know why do you think? Maybe why do you want people to see that video?
Yes, exactly, because Pastor, you could see like you said, you could see the excitement. Pastor is like I said earlier on. Pastor is so passionate about humanity, about setting people free. Giving people their liberty. And most people have been trapped in this work, in this Uncle Sam system.
Yeah.
Generations. We see generations working for the same government. So Pastor is trying to open people's eyes to see that,
you can get your freedom.
More to life. You can be free. And this is what even if you must, Pastor even said it in the book, even if you must work for someone, know that there is a time frame. Have the right mindset. You want to work for someone to gain experience, to gain practical skills. Yes, it's good. But you are not to be there forever. You are not to spend the rest, because he opened, anybody that reads that book will know what their employers, the kind of mindsets they have, how they think, that they are smarter than them.
Wow.
Because the goal, Pastor made it so clear that the goal of every employer is for profit. So that's the reason why they are paying you. You are of value. You are of importance to them. So they will pay you to steal your time.
Wow. Great. So that's the book, Stop Working for Uncle Sam. I know this book is one of the top best books of a lot of people. Stop Working for Uncle Sam. All right. Let's see the other books.
The last book now. This is the last book, I think.
Okay.
So this is how to overcome the fear of death. Yeah. So at the end of everything.
Why did you put how to overcome the fear of death as the last book? Maybe some people should not run away.
So, the reason why I put that as the last is because I was about to say something that at the end of everything, death is inevitable.
Yeah.
Death is a price that everybody must pay. Death is one thing that does not respect anyone. It takes the old, it takes the young, it takes the rich, it takes the fetus, death has no respect. But I discovered that, even before I read this book, especially if you're still in school, we don't even want anybody to die. You won't even want to die. You won't even want your friends to die. Because we want to finish, you want to finish with, get your degree, start your own family. So what, I start asking myself, what will be of my friends that have died in school, this start putting, fear in me, and, this fear of the unknown and all that. So I just had to know, even though I didn't want to, when I saw death, I also, in a way, I didn't want to read, but I said, maybe today, that day I read it, I said, this thing I must conquer this fear. So if this book was going to do justice to that, and you won't believe me, it actually did justice to it.
Wow. So you lost the fear of death.
Oh, sure, of course. So, and the thing, how I overcame that fear is the fact that, you know, every life, Pastor made it so clear that you know that you are not going to be here forever. So, living your life for people is one way, that is one thing that will prepare you for heaven. Knowing fully well that you are living the same sacrificial life, the way Jesus Christ, the way God has given Jesus Christ to save, sacrifice his only son. So living a life, fulfilling purpose, living every day like is your last, making good use of every day of your life prepares you for heaven. You want to go to heaven. Pastor made it okay. Everybody wants to go to heaven. Yes. Then you have to learn. You have to have this knowledge, rather, that this life on earth should be spent for service alone. And the rest you're supposed to have is not in, you just want to keep enjoying the good things of life. That is the more reason why you don't want to go. You want to stay here forever instead of, being proactive, rendering your service to people, living for people. So this understanding, this knowledge, really gave me the right perspective about what I'm supposed to do while I'm still alive, and how I can conquer my fears. Because knowing fully well that death is inevitable, death is not, it doesn't respect anyone. So then I have to start living for something, and not just, living to enjoy life, but I have to live a life of purpose, a life of sacrifice, a life of fulfillment, making sure that every day counts. Every day of my life counts. Then that prepares me for heaven. So heaven, at the end of the day, Pastor said, heaven is actually our destination.
I read this book. This book is a fantastic book. It made me fall in love with heaven. The way Pastor described heaven in the book.
Yeah.
And then the testimonies of people who had near-death experiences, how they felt, the kind of joy, love they felt. Yeah, it made me desire heaven. Heaven is. I think heaven will be fantastic.
Yeah.
It will be a great place. All right.
But we really need to see the beauty of heaven.
Yeah, the beauty of heaven. So this is your final book on how to overcome the fear of death. Wow. So top 20 books by Mr. GIDEON IDOWU. I must say you did a very great job. Holding the conversation for this long. I'm trying to confirm if we have any caller thus far, but I think we don't have anyone who is going to be calling to share their books. But notwithstanding, I want to appreciate you. Thank you so much for sharing on these 20 books that are your top best books. And like you said at the beginning of the show, there was a quiz that was conducted on Dr. Sunday's page. Maybe we can see that slide. I don't know if it's possible. I think it was the second slide.
Yeah, the second slide.
Yeah, I think it's the second slide. Yeah. So there's a slide there that a quiz that was conducted for the top 3 DSA'S books, and the people who commented, imagine 41 titles were recorded to be part of people's top 3 books. And I can understand, because almost every book of Dr. Sunday is like the best one, just depending on the question that you have.
Exactly.
If you want to raise your kids and you're looking for how to raise them, and you read how to create core values in your children, that will be your best book.
Sure, depends. Yeah, and that's one thing that is so special about Pastor Sunday is that he has written quite a number of books that addresses different issues of life. So, what is best for me might be the second book, the second best for you. Might not even be the best book for you. But the thing is that everybody, Pastor Sunday is so interested in solving the problem of everyone, and he's doing so by writing, or not just writing, telling us, he's telling us stories and all that, but he's actually writing practical steps like a manual. I call it a manual. I call it a guideline.
Guide, yeah.
A guide. So, you can't describe. There is no complete description, or there is no description of DSA that will be complete without mentioning books.
And that is the reason why that's why we started with DSA's books.
Yes.
As the first topic to discuss on this whole marathon. It's going to be a marathon for 28 days. We're going to be coming with different topics. I know today is the first day. People don't know what they have ahead, but I want to personally speak to our viewers that please invite your friends, tell your friends, and tell members of this family, share this video, let everybody know that for the next 28 days, we are going to be celebrating Dr. Sunday in a unique way, in a productive way. You might look at all of the books that Dr. Gideon has spoken about, 20 books. I want to believe that maybe one person or two people who are watching, they've not even heard about that book. Maybe they've not even seen it before. Maybe the lessons that Dr. Gideon learned from the books, maybe it helped one person or the other,
Yeah.
And that's how Dr. Sunday celebrates. That's how Dr. Sunday lives. Everything has to be productive. Everything has to be done in a way that years after now, 10 years, 15 years, some people will watch this video and they will be able to learn something from all of the books that Dr. Gideon has spoken so well about. And this is not just for the presenters, but we also want our viewers, our dearly esteemed viewers, to join in the conversation. So if you would like to contribute in subsequent videos, I just want you to know that you can, and we would like you to join, because for this period, we're going to be as long as possible. We'll be here to have the presenters fully present their points, and also have our live viewers to share their thoughts, share their opinions, their impressions on the subjects that we will be talking about. All right. So I would like to see, I think there's a slide. I saw your slide about how to get Dr. Sunday's books.
Yeah, that's the last. I think that should be the last, second to the last, or the last slide, I think.
Oh, okay. All right. So for people to get, this is a slide about Chioma. Okay, so if you want to get the books, okay, this one, DSA's books are available, yeah? So DSA's books are available at a discounted rate. Now, this is a discounted rate for this birthday period. So if you want to partake in this promo, DSA's birthday book promo, please quickly order right now. Just write to our email at dsasbooks@gmail.com for the discounted rate. dsasbooks@gmail.com. So this promo lasts till the end of the month of May. And if you're in Nigeria, I think I saw a slide about Chioma before. Now, if you're in Nigeria and you want to get Dr. Sunday's books, so you can write or contact Chioma right there. That's our contact details. You can write her and you can get any of the books that you're interested in. All right. So let me come back to Dr. Gideon. What will be your final words? We don't have any caller right now. So what will be your final words to our viewers to Dr. Sunday himself. So let's hear from you.
Okay. Firstly, I would like to congratulate Dr. Sunday, my uncle, in advance. That surely I'm proud and I'm so happy, and I always thank God every day that that in my own lifetime I met someone like him.
Wow.
And I already told myself that I'm going to tell even my children, my grandchildren, about him, about someone that has really lived a life of great legacy. You know, he has really done a lot, and he's still doing.
Yeah.
You know, Pastor Sunday is not just someone that has history. He's still making history.
He's creating it every day.
He's creating it every day. It's different from you having history and you continually creating history. And he has even done something that will continually create history. Because every of his books, anyone that gets any of his books and read it will even become more like him. So it will not just end with Pastor Sunday.
Yeah.
So the history continues. The history of Pastor Sunday continues.
Beautiful.
So I really want to congratulate him, because you know he's just one person that I so much admire a lot, and I'm so proud that, because he has given me so much confidence in taking away a lot of fears, you know, anxiety, you know, a lot of things that are, you know, doubts that I've had in the past. So I so much want to use this privilege to really wish him an happy birthday in advance.
Wow.
And I pray for more productive years, because it's someone that is always very productive. Every year counts.
Yeah.
He does. I used to believe he performs magic. You know, because you know, I believe that because I did not know. I never had the knowledge of how to give, how to have tangible products. Every product I say, I just believe him. It's just mystical. It's just, you know, some magical powers or some, you know.
Yeah.
But seeing his life, meeting him, reading his books, moving close to him, gives me this assurance that no, he's actually a productive person, and is something I so much admire.
Wow. Great. So to our viewers,
Now to our viewers, I would really want to encourage everyone. You know, one thing I used to tell myself is that if I want to hear you talk, if you want to know if your word is making sense, you can only know if you have some level of knowledge in you. So if you really want to be fulfilled in life, if you really want to live a life free of fear, if you really want to conquer depression, if you are so concerned about getting things done and stopping some things that you don't want to see anymore in your life, try as much as possible to get books that will relate, or topics that Pastor Sunday has written on that can address all these issues, and you will not regret. Actually, you will find peace after reading any of his books, even his messages. His books and his messages, I don't joke with it at all.
Yeah.
So I really want to admonish all our viewers all over the world. It's actually, Pastor gave me a simple formula. You don't need to finish a book in one day. You know, you could just start as little as, you know, reading one chapter a day. And 12 chapters or 13 chapters. Most of his books are between 12, 13, and 14 chapters. And in 14 days, in 15 days, you're done with a book. in 1 month you're done with 2 books. You've had, and let us also to our viewers, I also want us to know that our friends, our family, people around us, they also need solutions. And we that are privileged to have met Pastor Sunday should be a solution provider. And we can only get the solution from the knowledge we have, from the right knowledge we've received. So it is very important for everyone to love books and to love library. It's just important.
Wow. Thank you so much, my brother, Dr. GIDEON IDOWU. I mean, you did fantastically well today, talking about your top best DSA books. And I like the way you ended, also talking about the ability for people to combine the books with relating messages. I think that's a very, very good combo, because Dr. Sunday is very systematic. Most of the books you see that are written, they are teachings about it already. So if you combine, for example, where there is problem, there is money, and you combine that book with his teaching on finances on YouTube, Dr. Sunday Adelaja, I mean, what you would not even learn in your whole 4 years of accounting and finance.
Yeah, actually it's true.
You will learn that. So I think it's a very good wisdom that you shared there for our viewers to know that they can combine the books and the videos to be able to get something great. So, dear viewers, thank you so much for being with us. It was a long haul. Get ready for this kind of long haul for the next 27 days. We